Hello students, how are you all? The today's topic is gas laws. The laws which govern the behavior of gases. The laws which govern the behavior of gases are called as gas laws. So in other words, the gas laws is defined as the laws relates the properties of gases like pressure, volume, number of moles, temperature, etc. are called as gas laws. The laws relates the properties of gases like pressure, volume, number of moles, temperature, etc. are called as gas laws. Suppose I am keeping a number of moles and temperature constant. If pressure is increases, how the volume is going to get changes. Otherwise, I am keeping pressure and number of moles constant. If the temperature is increases, how the volume is going to get changes. So the laws relates the properties of gases. The laws relates the properties of gases like pressure, volume, number of moles and temperature are called as gas laws. So the gas laws are there are different types. They are, the first one is Boyle's law. The first one is Boyle's law. And the second one is Charles law. The second one is Charles law. And the third one is Gay-Lussac's law. Gay-Lussac's law. And the fourth one is Avogadro's law. The fourth one is Avogadro's law. So these are the different types of gas laws. Now let us discuss one by one in detail. Among them, the first one is Boyle's law. Next, Boyle's law. So Boyle's law gives the relationship between the pressure and volume. It relates the pressure volume. Pressure volume relationship. Pressure volume relationship. So let us understand what is the Boyle's law by taking an example. I am taking a cylinder. Imagine this is a cylinder. The cylinder is filled with gas and the cylinder contains a weightless and frictionless piston. So this is a weightless and frictionless piston. Weightless and frictionless piston. So I took a cylinder. The cylinder is filled with gas and the cylinder is fitted with a weightless and frictionless piston. Now the volume of the gas, this is the volume occupied by the initial volume occupied by the gas. The volume of the gas I am labeling as V. So V is equal to volume of the gas. And the pressure of the gas we are labeling here as pressure is equal to P. Pressure of the gas is equal to P. And this experiment is doing at a constant temperature. So temperature T is equal to constant. So in the properties of gases, here is we are relating the pressure and volume at a constant temperature. Constant temperature. This experiment is doing at a constant temperature. Now at constant temperature, this is the volume occupied by the gas and this is the pressure of the gas. Now I am increasing the pressure. So I am pushing the piston is downward. So whenever the piston is moving inside downward, so the gases is going to get compressed. Gas molecules are far away from each other. So whenever the pressure is applied upon the piston, the gases is going to get compressed. So whenever the compression is happened, as a result, the volume is going to get decreases. Imagine up to here I move the piston. So this is the position of the piston. So this whenever the pressure is increases from here to here is pressure is increases. Suppose his P is equal to 1 atmosphere. Understanding pressure is equal to 1 atmosphere. So I pressure increases to 2 atmosphere. I increase the pressure increases to 2 atmosphere. Then volume is going to get decreases. This is the volume occupied by the gas. Volume occupied by the gas. So whenever the pressure is increases, the volume is going to get decreases. Initial volume. This is the initial volume. So whenever the pressure is increases, then the volume is going to get decreases. So at constant temperature, the pressure is inversely proportional to volume. So the pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Whenever the pressure is decreases, suppose 2 atmosphere making as 1 atmosphere, then this piston will move up. As a result, the volume occupied by the gas is going to get increases. That means expansion will be happen. Whenever the pressure is released, the gas can expand. Whenever the gas is expand, volume is going to get increases. So pressure increases, volume decreases, and pressure decreases, volume is going to get increases. So both are inversely proportional to each other. So at constant temperature, pressure of a fixed amount of gas, that means number of moles. So at constant temperature, pressure of a fixed amount of gas inversely proportional to its volume is called Boyle's law. Let us write the statement. At constant temperature, the pressure of a fixed amount of gas, is inversely proportional to its volume. This is known as Boyle's law. Right, here at constant temperature, the pressure of fixed amount of gas is nothing but number of moles of gas. So number of moles of gas is inversely proportional to its volume. At constant temperature, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. This is known as Boyle's law. So mathematically, Boyle's law can be represented as P is inversely proportional to volume. So P is inversely proportional to volume. Here is I am taking the proportionality by keeping constant P is equal to K into 1 by V. So P is equal to K into 1 by V. Here K is the proportionality constant. Then PV is equal to K constant. So this is the PV is equal to constant. This is the mathematical expression P directly proportional to 1 by V. Next, so the pressure of the gas I am labeling as P1. At initial pressure of the P1, volume of the gas is V1. So this is the initial pressure of the gas. At initial pressure, this is the volume occupied by the gas is V1. So P1 and V1. At pressure P1, volume is V1. Now I'm increasing the pressure. When the pressure is increases, then volume is going to get decreases. Volume will be changes. So that volume is changes. So I'm increasing pressure to P2. So whatever the pressure you can take, not only 1 atmosphere, you can take 2 atmosphere, 3, 4 and so on. So initial pressure I'm labeling as P1, and I'm increasing the pressure will become P2. So final pressure I am labeling as P2. At initial pressure P1, volume is V1. Whenever the pressure increases, volume is going to get changes. So the final volume I am labeling as V2. So at pressure P1, volume is V1. At pressure is P2, volume is going to get V2 in the case of compression. Right. So come here, PV is equal to K, and the first case I am taking, first condition. So first at pressure P1, volume is V1, that is equal to K constant. This equation I am labeling as 1. Next, I am increasing the pressure. So pressure will become P2 and volume become V2. Then P2 V2. So P1 V1 is equal to K, P2 V2 is equal to K. So this is the second equation. So substitute the second equation, first equation, second equation. Then what is the equation going to get is P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So this is another expression for the Boyle's law. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. In other ways, so P1 by P2. So P1 by P2 is equal to V2 by V1. So this is another expression for Boyle's law. So this is mathematical expressions for Boyle's law. Next, already we know very well that density D is equal to M by V, mass by volume. D is equal to M by V. We know very well that density is equal to mass by volume. And I am taking this equation, P is equal to K into 1 by V. So V value we have to substitute in this equation. So P is equal to K into 1 by V. So V is substituted in this equation, then we'll get D is equal to M by K into P. So here is a fixed amount of gas we are taking. M is constant, fixed amount of gas is taking, and K is a constant. I'm taking new constant, so D is equal to K dash. To the other new constant, I'm taking a K dash into P, isn't it? So from this equation, so density is directly proportional to volume. So what is the point to understand is density is directly proportional to volume. So when the pressure increases, density is going to get increases. Pressure increases, density is going to get increases. At constant temperature, the density of the fixed amount of gas is directly proportional to its pressure. The density of fixed amount of gas is directly proportional to its pressure at constant temperature. At constant temperature, the density of fixed amount of gas is directly proportional to its pressure. This is another relation. So Boyle's law, at constant temperature, the pressure of fixed amount of gas, nothing but a number of moles. Here you can take a number of moles. Fixed amount of gas, nothing but number of moles. At constant temperature, the pressure of fixed amount of gas is inversely proportional to its volume. This is known as a Boyle's law. So P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is a very important expression for to solve the problems. Next graphs. Boyle's law graphs. In that first graph, I'm taking relation P is inversely proportional to 1 by V. So already we know very well that according to Boyle's law, at constant temperature, the pressure of a fixed amount of gas inversely proportional to its volume. So pressure increases, volume is going to get decreases. Pressure decreases, volume is going to get increases. So I'm plotting a graph pressure against volume. So pressure I'm taking on y-axis and volume I'm taking on x-axis. So this is increasing pressure and this is increasing volume. So already we know very well that pressure increases, volume is going to get decreases. So pressure decreases, volume is going to get increases. So this is the curve we can expect. Both are inversely proportional to each other. So pressure increases, then volume is going to get decreases. So this is the first graph. And one more important one is the graph drawn between pressure and pressure with its volume at a constant temperature. These graphs are called as isotherms. These graphs are called as isotherms at a constant temperature. At a constant temperature. So here graph drawn pressure against its volume at constant temperature, we are calling it as isotherms. Next, I'm taking the same graph in another ways we can represent. Here is a pressure, here is the volume. Clear? Same graph. So this is the first curve. This curve I'm labeling as its temperature is T1. So at constant temperature T1, this experiment is formed with, we got this curve. And at another constant temperature, we got this curve, I am labeling as temperature is T2. And at another constant temperature, we done the experiment, this temperature I am labeling as T3. So T1, T2, T3. Now the question is arises, which is the high temperature, which is the low temperature? T1 is high temperature or low temperature? So T2 is high temperature or low temperature? So question we can expect like this, option A, T1 is greater than, T2 is greater than T3. Option A. Option B possibility is T1 is less than, T2 is less than T3. Option C, T1 is equal to, T2 is equal to T3. All are same temperature. T1 is equal, T2 is equal, T3. Option D is T1 is greater than T2, T2 is equal to T3. So these are the graphs, these are the options possible. Now which is the correct one? Whether T1 is higher or T2 is higher or T3 is higher, we have to find out. So for this case, we have to use ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT to find the which is the high temperature, but in the Boyle's law, your temperature is constant. So we are finding the which is the higher by taking a PV is, we are identify by using ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT. So we can take here pressure constant, you can take volume constant also. Anything you can take and identify the which is the high value. First I am taking a pressure constant for understanding purpose. I am keeping a pressure is constant. So we have to relation between the volume is constant. I took volume is constant and we have to find the relation between the pressure and the temperature. So P is equal to nR by V into T. So I took volume constant, V is equal to constant I kept. So all the curves, so this volume is constant. Right. So this is increasing volume, here is volume is constant for all this experiment, T1, T2, T3, volume is constant I kept. Then V is constant, then P is equal to, this is the constant. So P is directly proportional to T. So P is directly proportional to T. So whenever the temperature increases, volume is also going to get increases. Now look, come to here. So at T1, this is the P1. This is the pressure. Pressure is increasing this direction, upside. So this is, I am labeling as understanding purpose P1. This is the temperature T2. At temperature T2, this is the pressure P2. This is the temperature T3. At this temperature, pressure is P3. Now what is the point to understand? So at temperature T3, pressure is P3. Pressure is increased. Temperature T2, pressure is P2. P2 is more than the P1. Pressure is increasing from P1 to P2, P2 to P3. We are increasing the pressure on y-axis, increasing the pressure. At temperature T1, pressure is P1. At temperature T2, pressure is P2. And temperature T3, pressure is P3. Volume is constant. So here is pressures are increasing. That means temperatures are increased. If the temperature T3 is higher value, then only we will get higher pressure. So at T3 there is a pressure is P3. So temperature increases, then only pressure is going to get then pressure is going to get increases. Then what is the order to expect is T1 is less than T2 is less than T3. Very very important relation for problems. So T1 is less than T2 is less than T3. So what is the answer we can expect? T1 is less than T2 is less than T3. So B option is correct. In this case, I took pressure is directly proportional to temperature, kept volume constant. The same relation we can identify by using keeping volume constant also, pressure constant also. For example, I am taking the same graphical representation for understanding purpose. This is T1, this is T2, and this is T3, isn't it? So here is pressure is increasing, here is volume is increasing, isn't it? So I am taking relation PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT, isn't it? Then I am taking a pressure constant. In this case, I am taking a pressure is constant. Here I took volume constant. I took volume is constant. Here I am taking pressure is constant. Same answer we can identify by using pressure also, by using volume also. Sorry. Then V is equal to N by R into P, N by R by NR by P into T. So N is constant, R is constant, P is constant. Then V is directly proportional to T. V is directly proportional to T. So temperature increases, volume is going to get increases. So pressure is constant. Then at temperature T1, this is the volume. I am labeling as understanding purpose, so initial volume V1. At temperature T2, this is the volume V2. Temperature T3, volume is V3, isn't it? At temperature T1, this is the volume V1. At temperature T2, so this is the curve here. Temperature T2, volume is V2. Temperature T3, volume is V3. So from here to here, volume is increasing. The volume is increasing this direction. So volume is increasing, V3 is higher value. At V3, temperature is what? T3. So V3 is higher in the sense V is directly proportional to T. So T increases, V also is going to get increases. T increases, V increases. That means T3 is higher value, then only V3 is higher. So that T3 is greater than, and next T2 is greater than T1. Nothing but T1 is less than, T2 is less than T3. Meanings are same. At temperature T3, volume is V3. V3 is the higher value when compared to V2. V2 is the lower value. V2 is higher value when compared to V1. This is the increasing order. So temperature increases, volume also going to get increases. So this is the order. So by taking a pressure temperature relation we can identify, by taking volume temperature relations also we are able to identify. This is the second graph. And third one, objective point of view, this type of questions are very very important. Sometimes you get T4 also. So same concept you have to apply. So further class also you will get same graphs. So we have to apply same concept. Then graph number 4. So graph number 3. P is directly proportional to, inversely proportional to 1 by V. Otherwise, P is directly proportional to 1 by V. P is inversely proportional to volume. Otherwise, P is directly proportional to 1 by V. So, I am taking a P is equal to K into 1 by V. So P is equal to K into 1 by Y. So by using Streitler equation, Y is equal to mx plus C. Here C is 0. So Y is equal to mx. So I'm taking a graph. Here is the pressure increasing. Here I'm taking 1 by V. So C is equal to 0. The straight line is passing through origin. So this is the graph P versus 1 by V, and this is the third graph. Next, fourth one. The fourth one, same graph I'm taking. So P is equal to K into 1 by V. P is equal to K into 1 by V. Then I'm taking at different temperatures. So here is pressure is increasing, here is volume is going to get increases. Pressure increases, volume is going to get increases. Then this is the temperature T1 I'm labeling, temperature T1. This is the temperature T2 I'm labeling, and this is the temperature T3. Then same concept, which is the higher value, T1 is greater than, T2 is greater than T3, or T1 is less than, T2 is less than T3, and so on. So by using same concept you can identify. So either keeping pressure is constant, or by keeping here is 1 by V. By keeping 1 by V is constant. So I'm taking a volume constant. If you keep the volume constant, 1 by V is constant. Volume constant keeping. So 1 by V is constant in the sense this is the relation. Already given here. Pressure versus temperature. Pressure is directly proportional to temperature. This is at T3, this is the P3, isn't it? At T2, this is the T2. T2, this is P2. This is the T1. At T1, this is the P1. So temperature increases, pressure is increasing. This is increasing pressure. P1 is a smaller temperature, smaller pressure compared to the P2. P2 is smaller pressure compared to P3. P3 is the high pressure because pressure is increasing from P1 to P2, P2 to P3. Pressure is increasing. So P3 is the high pressure. Then T3 is the high temperature. Then next P1 is a low pressure and T1 is a low temperature. Then what is the answer is T3 is greater than, T2 is greater than T1. Nothing but T1 is less than, T2 is less than T3. Look at this, same answer we get. So T3 is less than, T3 is than, T2 is less than T1. Here also that we can expect a same answer. So even this case also the same answer we can expect. So this is graph number 4. Here is a pressure versus 1 by V. Next, fifth graph. So we know very well that P is inversely proportional to volume, isn't it? Then P is equal to K into 1 by V, isn't it? Then PV is equal to K. So K is constant. Then we'll get PV is equal to constant. So PV is equal to constant. So by taking this equation, we can draw a graph. Then I'm taking PV on a y-axis and P on a x-axis. So here is a product of PV. I'm taking product of PV. Here is versus P. So PV is equal to what you mentioned here. PV is equal to constant. So this is the graph we can expect. So second case I'm taking so product of pressure and volume PV versus volume. Here I took PV versus P. In the second case, I am taking a PV versus volume. First case, I plotted a PV versus pressure against pressure. So here is a product of pressure and volume against volume and pressure plotting. So here also PV is equal to constant. So this is a graph we can expect in these two cases. So PV is equal to constant. And graph 6. For JEE Mains point of view, all these graphs are very, very important. Then graph number 6, same equation I am taking, PV is equal to K, constant. This equation I am taking, PV is equal to constant. So constant, we know very well. So then applying the logarithms on the both side, then we are going to get log P into V, log P plus log V, that is equal to log K. So applied logarithms on both side. Then log P is plus log V is equal to log K. So transpose log V towards right side. Then we're going to get log P is equal to minus log V plus log K, isn't it? So transpose log V towards right side, this positive will become negative, minus log V plus log K. Then we have to plot a graph between log P against log V. So we have to plot a graph log P against log V. Then here is by using Streitler equation, y is equal to mx plus c. Here c is the intercept is log k. So intercept is log k. Here is m, slope is negative, this is the negative slope. So nothing value you can take, imagine 1, the slope is negative. So you will get a curve like this, negative slope we will get here. So this is the log graph, log p against log v. This is another graph. So these are the graphs for Boyle's law. Next, Charles law. The Charles law relates the temperature and volume of a given mass of gas at a constant pressure. So it is the relationship between temperature and volume. So temperature volume relationship. Temperature volume relationship. Now let us understand the Charles law by taking an example. So I am taking a cylinder. This cylinder is filled with gas. I am taking a cylinder. This cylinder is filled with gas, and they kept a weightless and a frictionless piston. Right. Now the volume of this is the volume occupied by the gas, initial volume. The initial volume of the gas I am labeling as V0. V0 is the initial volume of the gas at 0 degrees centigrade. Temperature of the initial temperature is 0 degrees centigrade. So at 0 degrees centigrade the initial volume of the gas is V0, and this experiment is doing it at constant pressure. Sorry. The experiment is doing at constant pressure. At constant pressure, the initial volume of the gas is V0 and the temperature is T degree centigrade. Now it is found that for every degree rise in temperature, the volume of the gas is increases by 1 by 273.15 of its original volume at 0 degrees centigrade. That means whenever the temperature is increases, volume is going to get increases. So temperature is decreases, volume is going to get, temperature is decreases, volume is going to get decreases. So volume directly proportional to temperature. This statement meaning is volume directly proportional to temperature at a constant pressure. This is nothing but Charles law. So initial volume is V0 and initial temperature is T degree centigrade. For each degree rise in temperature, volume is going to get increases. So I am showing this one. So here is temperature I am labeling as T degree centigrade. 0 degree centigrade increasing T degree centigrade. That may be 1 degree increase, 2 degree increase, 3 degree. So temperature is increasing. So temperature increases, volume also is going to get increases. At temperature T degree centigrade, volume I am labeling as Vt. So temperature increases, volume is increases, volume is directly proportional to temperature. Now it is found that for each degree rise in temperature, the volume of the gas is increases by, for each degree rise in temperature, the volume of the gas increases by 1 by 273.15 of its original volume at 0 degrees centigrade. First we will read the statement. For each degree rise in temperature, the volume of gas increases by 1 by 273.15 of the original volume. At 0 degrees centigrade. So V0 is the original volume, temperature increases, so volume increases by 1 by 273.15 of original volume at 0 degrees centigrade. Next V0 is the initial volume of the gas at 0 degrees centigrade. So V0 is initial volume of gas at 0 degrees centigrade. Initial volume of the gas at 0 degrees centigrade. Next, Vt is the final volume of the gas at T degrees centigrade. So Vt is the final volume. So Vt is the volume of gas at T degree centigrade. So you can take V is the volume of the gas at 0 degree. You can take V naught is the volume of the gas at 0 degrees centigrade. You can take directly V is the volume of gas. V naught is the volume of gas at 0 degrees centigrade, and Vt is the volume of the gas at T degree centigrade. Next, so final volume Vt is equal to volume of the gas at final volume is equal to initial volume. This is the final volume. This is the total final volume, and this total volume is equal to initial volume. This volume we have to take initial volume plus Vt is equal to initial volume plus final volume is equal to initial volume plus. And one more thing is how much volume increases. For each degree rise in temperature, volume of the gas increases by 1 by 270.15 of original volume. So V naught by 270.15 into T. So this is the final volume of the gas. Then Vt is equal to, I am taking V naught common. So V naught into 1 plus T by 273.15. Then Vt is equal to V naught. So upon 273.15 plus T degree centigrade by 273.15. Some rearranging equation Vt by V naught is equal to 273.15 plus T degree centigrade. Nothing but you can take in the temperature in Kelvin scale. Temperature in Kelvin scale is equal to relation. Temperature in Kelvin scale is equal to temperature 273.15 plus temperature in degree centigrade scale. So temperature in Kelvin scale is equal to temperature in Kelvin scale is equal to 273.15 plus T degree centigrade. You will get temperature in Kelvin scale. So 273.15 plus T degree centigrade. I am taking a temperature in Kelvin scale. Then I am labeling as a TT, temperature TT. Then here is 273.15. Here is 0 degree centigrade. T degree centigrade is nothing but 0 degree centigrade. This is 0. Nothing but K is equal to 273.15. So at 0 degree centigrade temperature is T naught. This is the 0 degree centigrade at the temperature at T. Then so I am taking two different conditions. Vt is the final volume, I am taking as final volume V2, and V naught is the initial volume, I am taking as V1, isn't it? That is equal to Tt is the final temperature, I am taking as T2, and T naught is the initial temperature T1, 0 degree centigrade T1. Then this is the relation and mathematical expression for Charles law. So V2 by V1 is equal to T2 by T1. So from this relation, V is directly proportional to T. In another way also, the Charles law we can derive mathematical expression of the Charles law we can derive. So I am taking volume is directly proportional to T. Directly I am taking this expression. So in another way, this is another way to derive the expression for the Charles law. I am taking another way. V is directly proportional to T. Clear? So I am taking V proportionality, I am replacing by keeping constant K. V is equal to K into T, isn't it? Then V by T is equal to constant. V by T is equal to constant, isn't it? Then two different conditions I am taking. So first condition is here is V naught is initial volume. Initial volume of the gas I am labeling as V1. So at initial volume its temperature I am labeling as T1, isn't it? At initial volume V1, temperature is T1. That means V1 by T1 is equal to constant K. This equation I am labeling as 1. Then I am increasing the temperature. So increasing temperature in the sense I am taking as the temperature T2. So temperature increases, volume is going to get increased. So what is the volume increase? I am labeling as V2. The final volume I am taking as V2. So second condition, whenever the temperature increases, volume is V2 and its temperature is T2. So V2 by T2 is equal to constant K. So this is a second. So substitute the first equation in second equation or second equation in first equation. Then get V1 by T1. V1 by T1 is equal, in the place of K I am substituting V2 by T2. So V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. So I am rearranging this equation as V1 by V2 is equal to, so T1 by T2. V1 by this V2 you are transposing here, V1 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2. So this is another expression for Charles law. So directly this is a method, we will get the Charles law expression, and these two equations are same. and this is another expression, another method to derive the equation for Charles law. Directly I am taking V is directly proportional to T, so V is equal to KT, V by T is equal to constant. I am taking two different conditions. One is initial condition and the second is the final condition. So initial temperature and initial volume, final temperature and final volume. We will get V1 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2. So volume is directly proportional to, in this case volume is directly proportional to temperature. So by taking this we can write the statement of Charles law is Charles law statement. At constant pressure, the volume of fixed mass of gas, the volume of fixed mass of gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Directly proportional to absolute temperature. Nothing but V is directly proportional to, already we took V is directly proportional to T. So this is at a constant temperature. At a constant temperature. So this is a mathematical expressions for Charles law. This is a Charles law. Next, Charles law graphs. In that first one, so according to Charles law, volume is directly proportional to absolute temperature at constant pressure. Then V is equal to K into T. So I remove the proportionality by using a constant K. So by using this equation, we can plot a graph of volume against temperature. Volume against temperature. I'm taking a volume on a y-axis, a temperature on a x-axis. So by using a straight line equation, y is equal to mx. So straight line is passing through origin. So here is the graph plotted between volume and temperature at constant pressure. This is plotted at constant pressure. So we have to call them as isobars. Isobars nothing but at constant pressure. The graph plotted between the volume and temperature against volume against temperature at constant pressure, we are calling as isobars. So this is a first graph. And the second one, so same equation I am taking this equation, V is equal to K into T. V is equal to K into T. Then same graph I am plotting. So volume increases, here is temperature increases. It's clear. Then I am taking this different pressures. So this is I am labeling as P1, this I am labeling as P2, this I am labeling as P3, this I am labeling as P4. Or you can take this is P1, P2, P3, P4. So what is the order we can expect? What is the question is option A, P1 is greater than, P2 is greater than, P3 is greater than, P4. Option B, so P1 is less than, P2 is less than, P3 is less than, P4. Option C possibility. So P1 is equal to, P2 is equal to, P3 is equal to, P4. Option D you can take none, or you can take so P1 is equal to, P2 is greater than, P3 is greater than P4, or and so like this. P1 is equal to P2 is greater than, P3 is greater than P4. So these are the different options. You can take D option as a none also. So these are the different options. Which option is the correct? I already said whenever this type of questions is there, you can use ideal gas equation, and here is the temperature is there, here is the volume is there. So you can find out the relation between the volume and pressure, you can find out, or you can take a temperature and pressure also you can find out. Then PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT. I already explained this point. Suppose I am taking a volume is constant. So I am taking volume is constant. Volume is constant. Then P is equal to nR by V. Volume taking constant into T. then P is directly proportional to temperature. Already you know very well this point. So P is directly proportional to temperature. So this is a pressure is this is the temperature T1. This is temperature T1. This is the temperature of T2. This is the temperature T3. This is the temperature T4. Isn't it? Temperature T4. Then temperature increases, then pressure also is going to get increases. So T4 is the high temperature. Temperature is increased this direction. So temperature increasing. T4 is the high temperature. So T4 is high temperature. Then at T4, what is the pressure? We have P4. P4 is the high pressure. And next to T3 is the next high temperature. Then next to P3 is the high pressure. So temperature increases. Temperature increases. Pressure is going to get increases. T4 is high temperature. Increasing temperature. T4 is in sense. P4 is high pressure. Next P3 is high pressure, next P2 is high pressure, next P1 is pressure, next P1 is the least lowest pressure and P4 is the highest pressure. Then what is the answer we can expect? P4 is the highest. Then P1 is less than, P2 is less than, P3 is less than P4. So this is in this case answer is B. This is the second graph number 3. So I am taking same equation, V is equal to K into T. V is equal to K into T. So I am applying the logarithms on both sides. Then we are going to get log V is equal to log K plus log T. So I am plotting graph log V against log T. Log V against log T. Then here is the intercept is log K. This is log K. Intercept is log K. By using Stiglitz equation, we can take this equation log V is equal to log T plus log K. So by using Stiglitz equation, Y is equal to mx plus C. So C is intercept nothing but log K. Log K. So this is the graph. You can expect log V against log T. So this is a third graph. Next graph. This is the fourth one. I am taking equation Vt is equal to V naught by 273.15 into T degrees centigrade plus V naught. So this is the equation I am taking. So I am plotting a graph Vt against T. So I am taking a Stiglitz equation Y is equal to mx plus C. So here I am taking Vt. I am taking Vt, increasing volume. Here is I am taking temperature in degrees centigrade scale. Then temperature increasing direction. Then what? Here is intercept is V naught. It touches here. The intercept is V naught. Intercept is V naught. The slope is equal. Slope is equal to m is how much? V naught by 273.15. Here m is the slope. So slope is equal to V naught by 273.15. So y axis I took Vt and x axis I took temperature in degrees centigrade and intercept is V naught. And this is another graph. The same graph you can represent in another way. I am drawing the same graph. Same graph I am drawing, and here is I am taking 0 degree centigrade. This is, and temperature in degree centigrade, temperature is increasing. Here is volume is increasing. So volume is increasing, temperature increasing, and this is the curve we got. Same graph I am drawing. So this is a V naught, isn't it? So I am extending this line. I am extending this line. It touches on x-axis. Here is I am taking 0 degree centigrade. This is 100 degrees centigrade. This is 200 degrees centigrade. Here is 0. This is minus 100. I am taking minus 200. This I am taking minus 300. So this touches at this line touches at exactly minus 273.15. Minus 273.15 degrees centigrade. This temperature we have to call as absolute zero. Absolute zero. This temperature is called as absolute zero. So minus 273.15 degrees centigrade is called as absolute zero temperature. Whenever the gases whenever the gases are cooling, whenever the gas before reaching this minus 273.15 degrees centigrade, the gases will become a liquid. So the volume is becoming zero. This is the volume is reaching to 0, volume is becoming 0. Whenever temperature decreases, volume becoming 0. So of course does not exist that, but the point is whenever the gases are cooling before reaching minus 273.15, all the gases will become liquefied. This temperature we are calling as absolute 0. Next, the same graph I am representing another way as the same graph, this graph only I am representing another way as it is 300 degrees centigrade, minus 300, minus 273.15, minus 100, here is 0 degrees centigrade, 100 and so on, 200 and so on. The same graph I am representing minus 100, 0, 100 degrees centigrade, 200 and so on. So this I am labeling as P1, this I am labeling as P2, this I am labeling as P3, this I am labeling as P4. This is nothing but volume is increasing, here temperature degree centigrade is increasing, isn't it? Now the point is which is the higher value. Already we know this point. So here is P4 is greater than, P3 is greater than, P2 is greater than P1. Similarly, I already explained this concept by using ideal gas. Same concept you can apply. So this is another graph for Charles law. So this point is important. Minus 270.15 is called as absolute zero temperature. Absolute temperature or absolute zero. Whenever the gas is cooling, before reaching this temperature, the gases will become liquid. Before reaching this temperature, all the gases will become liquid. So this is absolute zero. So this is Charles law.